Oh yeah, man. Famous cartoonist Art Balthazar. As you see, Abraham Lincoln is with me, and we are watching, and you are watching. Famous cartoonists draw at night. They draw at night by night. We're all here together, man. Buy their comics, buy my comics, shop.
Welcome to Cartoonist by Night. I am Anthony Laatsch. I am joined here with Troy Dongarra, D. Brad Gibson, Matt Rodgers, and we have two very special guests with us tonight. First guest is comic book artist Erick Marshall. Hello, Erick.
Hi, guys.
And our second guest, this person here is a part-time artist and a radical optimist, Nat Suki. How's it going, Nat?
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Cartoonist by Night. When we reached out to our guest, Erick Marshall selected the topic for tonight. So what is that topic that we're going to draw and discuss?
The Phantom. Lee Falk's Phantom.
There we go. So this will be a very interesting topic. Before we recorded, we found out that some of us don't know much about this character, including myself. So this will be a fun episode to kind of go through. We're going to draw and discuss the Phantom. We're going to learn about Erick and Nat and talk about their artistic journey and the work that they produce. And that is going to be the setup for our episode. Before we get into that, we're going to find out what we're going to be working on. So if we want to start with D. Brad Gibson, do you have any idea of what you're going to work on for your Phantom topic tonight?
Yeah. I did plan, and I did some rough sketches, and I'm gonna do Phantom and his dog Devil.
Ooh, nice. And Matt Rodgers, I see you got some sketching going on there. Do you know what you're doing tonight? Any kind of what angle you're going at?
Nope. We're just gonna wing it.
There we go. It'll be fun to watch anyways. Troy, how about you? Any idea on the how you're going to approach tonight's topic?
I'm going to draw the Phantom without guns, though. I don't want to draw guns tonight, so just
that's
the Phantom
fair.
Without guns.
That's fair. Jump over to Erick. Can you talk about what you're going to be working on tonight?
Phantom, arm crossed. It's invisible, but I did some rough sketches.
There we go. Excellent. Can't wait to see that, and we're going to be seeing that as we go through this episode.
Yep.
Nat, can you tell us about what you're going to be working on?
Yeah, so today I'm doing a chibi Phantom, and he has a gun. Sorry, Troy.
That's okay. I'll do the chibi without the gun. You do the chibi with the gun.
Yeah, they can match. Totally.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Now, as I mentioned before, when Erick supplied the topic, I'm not too familiar with the topic, so I am excited to kind of hear about everyone's experience with it. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for tonight. So I have two specific sketch cards planned out. We'll see if I get to both of them. I am going to have Reggie Mantle from Archie Comics as the Phantom. So I have him sketched out there. Reggie is the Phantom. I don't know why, but I just like the jawline and I don't know. I thought that was going to look good in that kind of costume. And another one here, because immediately when I Googled the Phantom to see what the character looked like, and I saw a lot of purple, and immediately I thought about Grimace from McDonald's. So I got Grimace as the Phantom as well. So that's we're gonna see that magic happen later on. So we can just start diving in, hanging out, drawing, talking the Phantom. So feel free to switch to your drawing screens
Okay,
there as we get set up and ready to go. But yeah,
okay, let's go.
one of the rare topics where I don't know much about the characters. So I'm very excited to learn through our guests as well as our Cartoonist by Night cast members here. Okay, so we're gonna get all set up here, and then just a note for Eric. I'm maybe still getting set up, but oh, there we go. Yep, just wanted to
Yeah.
check that blurry background was off, so we're good to go.
Okay,
It's almost done already. My goodness.
No, I'd started this before already.
But you're so fast.
That's his third drawing already. If you didn't notice.
No.
Okay,
I started
so before we get into individually with Eric and Nat and talking about their artistic history, I want to start with the reason why Eric selected the Phantom. So, Eric, if you could talk to us about why you like the Phantom and why you wanted to choose the Phantom for this topic. Go ahead.
I'm not sure. I just chose the topic because I'm working on a secret project with Saturday morning cards, and they want me to draw base cards about the Phantom.
Oh.
And I didn't know much about it, but I really love it. I love the design. I love the mask and the purple suit. I think there's no much about it.
Well, I kind of like that. That's a cool angle that we'll be talking about the Saturday morning cards. I've got some examples to show off later. So I think that's kind of cool that, this is basically serving as practice and research for whatever you're going to be coming out with that secret project. Cool. Going over to Nat real quick. Do you have any previous fandom for the Phantom, or how are you approaching it tonight?
I don't know anything about the Phantom. I only know about it because my brother can't stop jabbing about the Phantom. He's always showing me his ring and telling me
The
to
opening.
watch. He's always playing the opening whenever I wake up, so it's getting on my nerves already, but it's gonna be fun.
That's excellent. D. Brad, can you talk about, because I think you probably know everything about the Phantom. We'll find out. What's your connection with the Phantom?
I think the first time I saw the Phantom was in a Mad Magazine parody.
Oh,
Really?
Had a super special that and it had all these collection of all their parodies of comic strips, and so that's where I first saw the Phantom. When I was, and yeah, it started off as a syndicated comic strip from King Features, and it still is syndicated to this day. And do you guys know Mike Manley?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he draws it.
yeah. I had done some light research and I saw that it was like maybe like mid to late 30s, and it was like essentially like one of the earliest superhero things, even before Superman and Batman and all that
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, and I think this one trivia piece about the Phantom is Lee Falk, the original artist. He was the first to do the
The mask.
mask with no pupils, like just the white. So he was the first. He started that, and he said it was based on Greek marble statues. Is where he got the idea from.
Oh wow, that's
Very cool.
Yeah, and of course I saw some animated stuff, and there's lots of comics by Charlton that I remember seeing as a kid. Charlton comics of them, but I think every company has published Phantom books. Even DC and Marvel have to. And then you guys know those old serial movies, SER.
Yeah, sure.
There's a Phantom one, and it's pretty. They're pretty fun. to watch the cliffhangers.
Would
So I
they
think
have been in like the 40s, probably?
maybe 30s and 40s, yeah, for sure. Yeah, in there. Yeah, probably the 40s, that one. Um, yeah, and then the movie, I enjoyed the one with Billy Zane. That was a good one. I liked. You
Up
guys see
Are
that
there?
one?
I
Yeah,
have
I love it.
Yeah,
A
it's
good
fun.
movie.
It's a fun one. Kind of old fashioned.
Where did you get your ring?
I got when the movie came out. It
Okay.
was, I'm trying to remember what it was in. I don't know if it was in if it was a cereal box thing or if it was it's actually metal though.
an expensive
So
box of Cracker Jack.
yeah, or maybe it was at a video store. I have no idea where I got it from. It doesn't. I definitely put metal in cereal. I guess it'd be iron in your cereal.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Rodgers, any pre-connection to the Phantom?
None whatsoever. I have zero knowledge about the Phantom.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat. I was excited just because I had to Google it and see what it was. I've definitely heard the name Lee Falks, but I looking back and just seeing like the long history and the comic strips and all that stuff, and I, I'm assuming at some point in my life I knew what it was, but I have never read it all and read it at all, and so I was actually extra excited to I don't have to prepare as much for this episode. I can just concentrate on working on knowing more about Erick and Nat, but I was excited to actually learn some stuff and based on what we've already said here, it's I'm already.
Yeah. Yeah, if you follow Mike Manley on Facebook, he will post every week of the Phantom. He does all he for free. He posts all of the strips
Really,
every
all the new stuff.
yeah the new stuff. Yeah.
Cool. Jump over to Troy. Any Phantom fandom?
Um, I mean, I recall it being in newspaper comic strips periodically. But I can't say that I was ever big into reading it. I do remember seeing the movie. I didn't see it when it came out, but I did see it like on one of the streaming services when my daughter was very little. Um, so I have a memory of watching it with her lying down on my belly. So that's a good memory, but I don't specifically have a whole lot of history with the character. He is cool looking. I always thought that the guns were a little bit weird, being a like a jungle based theater or character. Always thought that that was a little bit strange. Um, but it's a cool character, you know.
I
The
I,
Phantom
per-
versus Tarzan would be cool.
I personally want to go to a jungle-based theater and see what that's like. When you just said jungle-based theater by mistake,
You did?
Yeah.
I'm saying that'd be cool. Like if the new like go to the new Jurassic Park movie or something, or if there's another jungle,
That would be cool. Yeah.
or maybe
I've been in a jungle.
a jungle.
I think all theaters should be jungle based now.
Yeah.
Why not?
Based on jungle drama.
Yes, we're gonna hear about jungle
did it.
drama in this episode. Cool.
Is that Procreate?
Yeah, it's Procreate. I I have a really funny story with it because at first I didn't like it. I was used to drawing in paint. I've been using it since I was like in elementary school, but I thought I needed to do a shift. so that my works look more professional, I guess. But at first, I found it difficult to accustom to the fact that it didn't have that much pressure. Well, not pressure, but stabilization, I guess it's called. Um, but I then started using it, and now it's my favorite thing. Like, I love Procreate. It's like the best thing that has happened to me in a lot of time. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I use Procreate as well, and I'm fairly new to it all, and I don't do a lot of research on how to use programs. I just kind of like being kind of self-taught, and then I know watching this episode, when I edit it back, I'm definitely going to be paying attention to Nat's screen there and just kind of watching, looking for tips and just kind of seeing how the magic works. So
Yeah, because Procreate has a lot of hidden features. At first, I didn't know how to use the bucket tool correctly, but because sometimes it leaves some bleeding between the actual color and the ink. So you have to do a lot of shifting and adjusting so that it doesn't like leave that weird white mark. Like, for example, you could see it there. Well, kind of, barely.
Oh yeah.
But if you just like adjust it to the maximum, it disappears. And that's something I discovered watching TikTok, I guess. But yeah, it's a really good program. If you take the time to learn and use it, you get used to it really quickly.
very cool. All right, so what we're going to do here, we're going to switch over to learning about our guest here before we get back to the Phantom. But we'll start with Erick. What we're going to do,
Great.
I have a share screen set up, and I'm going to show some images of your work. But
Okay.
as I do that, you don't need to comment on it, but I'm going to have you tell us about your artistic journey, if you have the earliest memories of when you got fascinated with art, what inspired you, things like that. So feel free to just tell us about your artistic journey as I show the photos in the background.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, Elvis. I love Elvis.
Nice. Oh wow.
Awesome.
I really love drawing portraits, pencil portraits. I find it very relaxing, and I think it's the main thing that makes me grew up into art. I find it very, you see, I find it very,
Yeah, like it feels that he can learn from it. Like he can really take some time to study features and to replicate them in paper. So I find it really cool whenever he's drawing portraits. I sometimes share desk with him, and I just love watching whenever he draws portraits.
I used to be the worst drawing female faces.
Yeah.
So that's what I started drawing portraits because uh, I thought that it was necessary to grow up.
And we had
These
mentioned,
cards.
we
Okay.
had mentioned it earlier. Yes, we're going to be showing off some of your sketch cards, and
Okay.
can you kind of talk about how you got this job with Saturday morning cards and your connection with them?
Okay. I started when I was 15 years old. My first job was with Upper Deck, drawing Spider-Man cards. And then I get some work with Chinese studios, but they were scammers.
Oh man.
Yeah, we lost a lot of money because of those guys. Um, a lot of artists were very mad with the Chinese studios because they didn't want to pay us.
Oh.
So I thought my empire was nearly to fall. I was very depressed for a moment because I was just working with Upper Deck. That was my main. It was my whole life,
Yeah.
because I thought that I wasn't good enough to make comics. That's
Oh,
what I did. Cards.
hmm they're beautiful cards.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I follow your Instagram and just like seeing the post, and I'm just baffled about how many of these that you've done. Like to me, they just feel like they just come out of nowhere. Obviously, they're taking time and working behind the scenes, but we're looking at a lot of examples here. I eventually had to stop saving examples, otherwise the show would be 9 hours long. But it's been so entertaining to see the reveals and the videos that the company post, and looking at these exclusive cards that people can get out of the packs. And did you say 15 you were when you started those?
Yes, I was 15. To be honest, I thought the card industry it was nearly to break, and those guys from Saturday Night Cards were the ones who bring back those funny topics like uh, Dick Tracy, Popeye, even the Phantom.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah, we're looking at these here, and it's just like, you capture the likenesses very well, and
Thank you.
that's another thing I noticed with your style, and we've seen examples, and we'll see more examples, is that you're very flexible with your style. So anytime I see your artwork, I don't necessarily like see a specific style that you can work in many different genres. And so, can you talk about that on how do you approach drawing these characters? If you study the original works, or do you bring uh, your own little talent to each version?
No, I love to check references and see. For those cards, I just watch the movie and take some
Mhm.
screenshots so I can make them look like.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and I'm trying to see. I think this might be the end of the card section here.
Okay.
But yeah, and to give it a good example of these cards and the kind of sizes that you're working with here, um, I do have some examples. I'm just going to switch my screens here to the next set of cards. And here we go. So you also have these sketch cards here, and we can kind of see the size that you're working with, and like the how realistic to the movie characters and everything. And these are just gorgeous. Now I work on these little sketch cards as well, and then I look at your work, and I'm just like, look what can be done on a small canvas, and I'm amazed every time when I see these. So yeah, we're looking at. I think I have. Another one set up here. This one I especially like because Doug
Oh,
Jones.
yeah.
Are you the owner of this one?
I am not, but I am going to show our audience what I own.
Yes, please.
So here we
Oh,
go.
yeah.
When I started, we had Erick on along with Troy and Danny Harrell for when Jungle Drama issue 1 came out. We had them on the Crimson Cowl Comic Club, and that is when we all met each other. And after seeing Erick's work, I knew I had to commission him. And showing on my screen here to kind of give you an idea of the size of these cards, here is Erick Marshall's Skillman, the creature from the Black Lagoon, original sketch card.
Ooh.
This
Nice.
I'm just
Yeah.
amazed by the detail on there, and the card quality too is just it's a real like hard stock, like official, individually
Yeah.
stamped and cool logos and signed, and this is just a
So,
really beautiful
so
piece.
Eric drew right on that card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And what did you use? Um, Is there marker in there? Is it pencil? What's all in there?
No, this one is English. Brush and
Brush. Yeah, okay.
pen.
And pen. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
for the fine lines, and then the smoke and the shadow with brush and ink.
Nice.
Yeah, this is
That one is from Iconic Creation, I guess.
yeah. Oh yeah, from the
The studio, yeah.
the production value. Like I have a lot of sketch cards and everything, but I don't own anything like this that comes with is official and just high production value of just the paper stock in itself is it's iconic according to the back.
I'm
here.
not sure about the country for the studio, but I guess Turcos.
Turkish.
Yeah,
Turkish.
yeah,
Turkey.
Turkey.
Very cool.
I like turkey.
And yeah,
Sorry.
that was one of my questions, but Matt Rodgers got ahead of me there. I can cross that off the list. And it wasn't just for everybody; it was specifically for Matt Rodgers on if you like turkey or not.
That's my favorite bird.
favorite bird. So having Erick Marshall on, I wanted to cut back to my face screen here to set up the next original piece of work that I have from Erick. Getting to know him through Troy, and we'll find the origins out about that when we get into our jungle drama segment. Just pouring through Erick's artwork, and there's something that jumped out to me that I'm like, I hope this is available because I think it was out a couple years prior when he had drawn it, and thankfully it was. And it works out perfect with the time of this recording. We had just gotten the news that Sarah Michelle Gellar is working with a bunch of producers and directors on a possible pilot order for an upcoming Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot with Hulu. Nothing is official, but it is being worked on, and they hope that if they get the right product and what they want to do, that we'll have some more Buffy in our lives. And this was perfect because our next guest was Erick Marshall on the show. I'm wearing the Buffy shirt, and then here is an original artwork here that I bought from a couple years ago.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah,
and it really
that's awesome.
shows a good example of the likeness of the characters. We've definitely seen that with the other sketch cards and everything like that. And looking at some of the other, actors and characters that you've done, I have a feeling you'll be getting a message from me to. I think I would like a commission for a Lily Reinhardt Betty Riverdale. I think you've drawn Veronica, if I'm not mistaken, but you'll be hearing from me soon, Erick. So.
She's one of my favorite characters to draw. It's a very easy face, in my opinion. I love Cami Mendes.
Don't we all, Erick? Don't we all?
Let's do.
Wait, you said Betty or Veronica?
Betty.
Oh, okay.
So you did. I did see you draw some of Camila Mendes as well. So once I saw that, I'm like, well, you're already working with the Riverdale TV world. So maybe if you haven't drawn Betty, which I haven't seen, I'll give you a reason to work on Betty as well.
That would be nice.
All right, what we're going to do is take a little pause on what we're talking about by jumping over to our drawings. I wanted to focus on Troy's there. I've been kind of staring at that. I always love working at his detail work and stuff. Troy, how you feeling about tonight's drawing?
I'm just having fun drawing wood. doing very little drawing on the Phantom himself, but kind of enjoying the tree.
And when you make that shift into like working on those details, is it because you just want to work on that now, or you're not sure how to approach your main character? Do you have, or is it just random?
Random.
Yeah.
Just random.
Cool.
Hang on, somebody's knocking at my door.
It might be Lee Falk, special guest. I sent a message out, the Zoom link.
Back from the grave?
Yeah, the Phantom himself. We're gonna check in with Erick Marshall here. How are you liking your drawing there?
What do you think about it? I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I'm a little bit slow inking, but I think it's turning out nice.
Got a nice pose there. That's what I was going with the image that I was looking at. This happened in the past where I've lost my sketch card, so I have to look where. Oh, here they are.
Uh,
No, I found them. I found them.
I think this is the main pose, the
Yeah,
default pose.
yeah. Once I saw that pose, I just knew that that was going to be my. Just because that was the first image that popped up, I'm like, oh, I kind of like that attitude and the tough guy thing. So
I like the grimace. Good idea.
yeah, that literally when I saw the purple outfit, I'm just like, yep, I'm drawing Grimace tonight. Jumping over to Nat, how is the chibi version of the Phantom coming along?
So since I showed up with the Hello Kitty ring, I decided to add some ears and bows.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, why not? Like
That is awesome.
something never seen. The Phantom X Hello Kitty collab. I don't know. It felt right.
Yeah.
There's probably a very good chance that you might be the first one to do that, and once people see this, that you won't be the last. That's going to be a trend.
I hope so because he looks really cute. Look at him with
That's
his little gun and stuff.
That is adorable.
excellent. Matt Rodgers, how you liking your drawing there?
I hate it.
Oh,
To be fair,
But
you say
it's
that about a lot of things, but so anyways, you may say that we're not going to believe you.
you know me so well.
I was almost going to just say, Matt Rodgers, I know you hate your drawing, but can you talk about it?
Yeah.
No,
No.
I like the energy. I think it works with taking your style to it and working on some good cheekbones there. Good expression. You're always great with expressions, and I dig it.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
No problem. And
Thanks.
you should get a
You're
ding.
so sweet.
You should get a Venmo ding right now for that compliment that what you paying. Wait, no, you're supposed to Venmo
Oh,
me
yes.
compliment. Never mind.
I mean, if you want to Venmo me,
It's a
you can.
request. That's what I mean. It's a request. It's me asking. Okay, there's your compliment.
Yeah.
No, give me $20. But no, it's looking
Yeah.
good. D Brad, how's your drawing coming along?
Good. Yeah. I got Phantom and Devil
oh,
having a moment, and
Oh, that's cool.
I know I did the first one here, the Devil here, but I'm not sure about his coloring yet. Like if where the black will go on him, because I think he's got black because he's from a black and white comic book. I mean comic strip, so he's probably gonna have a lot more black on him.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm having fun. I like it. I always get scared the inking part though.
Okay, so we learned. I'm clearing out some of my background images here as I set up our next switch over to the topic. We've learned about Erick. I want to jump over to Nat and Nat. I'm going to show off some images that I also pulled from your social media, and you don't necessarily need to comment on them unless you want to. But basically, if you want to let us know your earliest memory with getting into drawing and illustrating and just any the early memories you have.
Cool.
So you can
Let's
just
go.
go
Let's
ahead.
do it.
I'm going to start pulling up the images, but you can go ahead and let us know about your art journey.
Okay. There we go. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, early memories I have from starting to draw was, well, my brother and we have always been close to each other. So I grew up watching him draw, and that's something that caught my eye. That's when I asked him to show me how to draw, and it wasn't that like it was a little bit chaotic because I mean I'm somewhat a little desperate and I want things to turn out good at the first try. But after some practice and a lot of studying, of course,
Wow.
I was able to improve a little. Um, well, my brother started with comics, but I'm more of a manga girl. I really love manga, so I grew up reading Sailor Moon, My Hero Academia, and manga artists are so they are too rigorous with their drawing, and they are too educated with anatomy and techniques and all that stuff. So I want to kind of follow that, but also adding some of my own spice to it. And as you can see, oh my gosh, that crow portrait I did, oh my gosh, I loved it. I wanted to do some black and white rendering, so that was a little bit of a practice. But yeah, um, I found drawing to be like my favorite thing to do in life. Although I don't want to live from it, I want to keep doing it as a hobby and enjoy it as much as I'm currently doing it. Of course, there are times that art block strikes and things get too difficult. But yeah, and I'm a main digital artist, as you can see. I'm more
She
into
looks familiar.
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, um, even if I try to use watercolors or pencils or ink, I'm not that good in traditional art. I have to say it. I broke my silence. I'm not that good in traditional art, but
Sure.
you know, digital art is cool. I've started since I was, as I said before, I started in elementary school using a Samsung tablet that I had. I don't know, it lasted me for like years, and then it just stopped turning on. But that's sad. But yeah, and well, as you can see, I also do some portraits, but I do it digitally. And I started to do them because I saw Erick doing them. And I also wanted to give it a try because I saw him having a lot of fun. And turns out it's not that fun. It's somewhat frustrating, I gotta say, to get people's features and expressions right. And oh gosh, what a thing to do. But I really like it. I really love it. It's a great experience, a great way to uh, get rid of the stress and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to that too when you're talking about how, you like it as a hobby. I relate to that as well. The way I work on art, it's so just wanted to mention that the part-time artist. I think you're very spot on then with how you described it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, because yeah.
I was
Tell
just
me.
going to say I showed this image earlier, but I wanted to bring focus because I think you recently posted this one talking about this was something that you maybe did in a class, and
Oh,
I saw D. Brad react to that one too, and this one really caught me. Now, is this an original character, if I remember correctly?
yeah. I'm studying a degree in English teaching as a foreign language, so
Okay.
I have literature class,
Oh.
and our teacher asked us to create an original character so that we could see, like, we could analyze the readings we were having in a more Victorian way rather than a person from the 21st century. So she told us you can either create it with AI, which I'm not a fan of it, or do any image searching. And of course, she told us that we could draw. So I took this chance and I said, why not? So this was like a last moment drawing because I forgot I had to do it. So I was doing it one night before the class, but I think it turned out great. I mean, I love all
I
the.
love. I gotta say that I love it.
I
It's
think
like
it's
Oh, thank you.
really,
outstanding.
really, yeah.
Thank
I
you so
love.
much. I mean, she might not be Victorianly accurate, but I think she has like a spark in it. So yeah, she was just an original character for my class, for my literature class, and it has another it had another purpose, but I decided to post it because I love the result too much
Mm-hmm.
to not be showcased on my Instagram.
Yeah.
It would be a waste of time if I hadn't done so. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm glad you like it.
Yeah,
I think it's one of the best drawings I've done in 2025. So yeah.
yeah, definitely. It's great.
All right. What I want to start talking about, which could be part of a bigger topic here, it'll allow me to work on my drawings a little more by having Troy talk about approaching Erick for the creation of jungle drama. Now, we covered some of this stuff on the Crimson Cowl Comic Club, but I would like to hear another version of it as now we have both Erick and Nat here as well. Troy, can you talk about the creation of jungle drama and how it eventually involved our guest?
If I wrong button, sorry.
Troy, are you there?
It's like you made me
Wouldn't
super
bump.
nervous to talk. I don't
Right now,
I don't
right
really I don't remember exactly. I do know that I had come up with this story, and as I was drawing it myself, realized that I wasn't the best fit for it. And so I kind of reached out on social media to see if I could find somebody that might be interested, and Erick responded to that. And I asked him if he had any samples, and he sent me some really good underdog samples.
Oh yeah.
I remember looking at him and being like, "Wow, these are excellent." But he also had his portrait work that I had seen, and so I gave him the basic concept. I don't remember if I sent Erick. Do you remember if I sent you what I had drawn?
Yeah, it was like 5 pages story.
the Scott Pilgrim looking versions, I believe.
Yeah, that
Yep.
one.
And then Erick took that and um, basically created what they actually look like in the comic now. Um, so Erick he has co-creator credit because he had such a huge influence on the overall look of it and how it ended up getting rewritten once Erick redid the artwork and everything and designed all the characters. I think he designed the characters really, really beautifully.
And for those unaware, we've mentioned jungle drama throughout the creation of this show, but since we have, some of the extra people that have worked on this comic book, Troy, can you let our audience know a quick elevator pitch on what this series is?
Sure. So there's two lovely jungle girls who are best friends or best frenemies type of situation, very much like a Betty and Veronica type thing. But unfortunately, even though there's lovely jungle ladies there, there's not very many handsome jungle guys until this one dude shows up, and the two of them start fighting over the new handsome jungle guy in town, and um, just silly, stupid drama type stuff. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that works. And yeah, so for this,
I'm a bad salesman, man. You should.
that's all right. So yeah, this was the first issue here that we're showing on my screen here. Troy with art by Erick Marshall, and then colored and edited by Danny Harrell for this first edition. And I have the example here on how Nat came into it because Nat has a variant cover. So we're looking at the original cover here, but then Nat, can you talk about your how you approached it when you were given the opportunity or asked or however it worked on how you got attached to drawing this jungle drama cover?
Yeah, so my brother talked about the project with me, and he told me that he really wanted me to do a cover. So I said yes. I said, why not? Let's do it. So it took me a long time to uh, get to the idea of drawing them, but I really like the two female characters. They're so cute. Like I love the hair and the way they act in the comic books. So I try to portray their frenemy um, situation over there, like them doing a heart. And yeah, I mean, my style looked a little bit different from now, but it's a really good cover. I really love it.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, it is.
I went all in on issue 1 of Jungle Drama here, so I have some other covers to show off here. From got this one here from Troy.
Cover 2.
We had mentioned the Scott Pilgrim. Here's an homage to that here with another. But this one here is for the most recent release here for Jungle Drama Salty Beaches. So we had the first issue, and now at the time of this recording, this is a very new issue. Here's the main cover on that one. So if we want to talk about, Troy, how you approached kind of handing this off to your co-creator and the other people on the book on how the second issue came to be. Can you kind of talk about that?
So I had pitched it and gotten it approved, and then had a lifestyle change type thing. I guess I could say I got a job that would make it very difficult for me to continue with it. So Danny Harrell took, well, actually, I think Danny and Eric, both of you guys took the
Yeah.
plot that I had written, and they expanded upon the plot to turn it into what it ended up being. So I had a very loose plot. I handed it over to them. They changed it and made it better, and couldn't be more proud of what they came up with. And they were kind enough to let me have my name in there as well. But it really is all the three of them, and then Nat came in and colored it in a few days.
Yeah, that was going to be my next topic. Is that not only did he, hand over the work and have them run with it, but Nat went from being a variant cover artist for that first issue to now coloring this. So, Nat, can you kind of talk about being approached with that opportunity now of coloring the second issue of Salty Peaches?
Yeah. So as before, Eric talked about it and told me like, well, I need a colorist, and I wish you would help me with that. And I said, yeah, because well, with other things, I help him with a little bit of color over here, over there. So I said, this time, why not? And it was such a fun experience, even if I had like few days to finish it, which turned out really good. Like you can feel the vibe of the summertime there. I don't know, I love it.
Very cool. Yeah, I told Troy and the creative team when the first issue came out that I loved it from cover to cover. I loved the tone of it, the comedy. I thought it flowed really well, and I was excited, very excited when I found out that there was going to be another one, and enjoyed the second issue as well. And yeah, for being a fan of Archie comics and the kind of rivalry that and friendship that both Betty and Veronica have, a lot of that kind of influence is kind of, thrown into these characters of just kind of having that kind of dynamic with each other. I want to jump over to Eric on your reaction and involvement with Jungle Drama, and was this your first comic book for sequential storytelling? Is that true?
The first one,
Yeah.
Jungle Drama, yeah, it was the first one.
And can you talk about your relationship with being tasked with taking on this project, and
Okay.
how you wanted to take Troy's initial idea and turn it into what we see here on the page.
This is going to be the first time I talk about, but at that moment I was really depressed, to be honest. I was trying to break into the newspaper, being a cartoonist, political cartoonist. So I wasn't good enough, to be honest. You need to read, you need to study a lot, and it's very difficult. It's very demanding, and I think it wasn't for me at all. So I was trying to break into the comic book industry, but I wasn't good enough, to be honest. And I didn't have samples to show to the editors or artists. So I felt really, really lost. And then I saw the Troy's post on Instagram. So I replied to him. After that, we were working on the comic. 1 week after that conversation.
Yeah, for you kind of tackling that project being your first sequential storytelling, same compliments to you on just how well it flowed, and just you wouldn't really know it that I think it felt like a natural project for you to work on, and really enjoyed it.
Yes, I really enjoy it.
All right, and Erick, can you talk about after taking that challenge of working on the issue? What is there anything you did different when approaching the second issue? Things that you wanted to maybe improve your work or work on? Can you talk about your experience of getting to go back to these characters in the world again?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a better anatomy, better bodies, and better faces. So I tried to study guys like Bruce Timm, and I forget the name of this guy that is called Darwin.
Darwin
Oh
Cook.
yeah, Darwin
Yeah,
Cook.
yeah, sure, that guy. And guys like, I don't know, Will Eisner,
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
for sure, Chester Gold. They have a really good style, a really good line. So I tried to do something like that.
Very cool. Yeah, a lot of good creators you name dropped there for some inspiration. So cool.
Yeah, the best.
To be honest, I didn't get any inspiration for Archie characters.
Oh, sure.
I prefer doing something different,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. I really like it. For me, it's a very important project. My first comic book that helped me to grow up and get a lot of work. After that, I started working with Submarine Treehouse.
Yeah.
They work on very spicy books.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Nat is the colorist of those books.
Yeah.
We are working on it, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I was
Not for everybody, but I really like it.
Yep, I was going to mention that for your work that you've done with that publisher, and just for the content warning for mature audiences, just to
Yeah,
throw that out there. The jungle drama, probably floats in that PG-13 range ish. If I think Troy, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so.
It still has a lot of light, fluffy fun, but it can get a little flirty and stuff like that, but still stays, for not non-mature readers, kind of stays in that lane there. But that Erick's other work working on with
Mm-hmm.
that publisher there, then getting to work with other kind of mediums and or genres and audiences and stuff. So cool. And before I forget, and before we jump out of the jungle drama, I mean, if anybody else has any questions for Erick or anything like that, feel free. But I'm going to show off just some of the jungle drama art process that I pulled from social media, but feel free to freely talk, anybody, if there's any questions or anything. We're just going to look at some of this process work. I guess this will be good for Erick here. You know, working digitally is. Did you have? How should I word this? When being approached with jungle drama, did you know if you would draw it physically or digitally? Did that change? Did you have an immediate idea on what direction you wanted to go with it?
Yeah, I was pretty much sure that I have to draw these books digitally because I think I'm faster than traditional. As you can see, it took me a lot to draw this phantom sketch. So I prefer drawing on Procreate.
Cool. And yeah, I'm just going to show a couple of these off here just to show the process. And then now here's a great picture to kind of talk about what we just mentioned is that now when Jungle Drama came out, a lot of companies have these blank sketch covers. And so here we got to see you, this was your work on a blank sketch cover, but with obviously traditional media. So when approaching Jungle Drama and you wanted to kind of work on your sketches and your designs, did you do any of that work traditionally, or was that all digital as
No,
well?
it was all digital.
And so when you did this cover here, was that kind of a fun challenge of going and working on your physical book, you know, with physical art? Did you have
It was a little bit difficult because it was a long time since the last time I did the book. So I tried to remember how do I draw the faces and the bodies.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I have two more on here just to show some more of your process work. And
This is from the second issue, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, that's the second one.
And
Second one was such a fun experience to read.
yeah. And Troy, can you talk about that too? Like with you kind of your involvement with it, did you have any kind of like final say things, or did you kind of really let them run wild with, or were you just kind of set them off to the
No, I mean Erick Erick had such a big impact on it that it's just as much his as it was mine. So I really would have felt weird having any like, hey, don't do this or don't do that. I'm not really my place. It's just they're his too. He can do with it however he wants.
Very cool. The last thing I want to show is this is very unprecedented for our little program here, but I want to show this again because I think this is really good. So just
Oh my god,
Very
you
nice.
flatter me.
I was closing out the windows in the background of all the images I've shown, and then I'm like, I don't want to close that one out yet because just I was amazed just by how you're talking about the how it sort of was a last minute sketch or that you forgot to do that, and yeah, that was amazing. So just had to throw that back out there for anybody who had their head down during the first round.
Yeah, well, I think sometimes when you have to draw something quicker, you draw looser, and I can see that in the drawing that there's a looseness to it,
Yeah.
which I love.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't feel stiff while drawing it. It sometimes happens to be that I get too stiff and my lines reflected, but it was like just vibing with it. So that's why maybe it looks like lines are loose and relaxed, things like that.
Cool. And how I want to talk about Erick and Nat and their partnership with creating these comics. Now, do you have any, even though we heard from Nat talking about wanting to keep it a hobby and everything, and you don't have to tell us any secrets, but is there any possibility that you two have like ideas of your own characters or your own stories, or are you just in the zone right now to kind of just work on whatever gets thrown your way? Do you have any aspirations of kind of jumping into a completely joint project with just you two?
Uh, I think, in my opinion, I'm not good at writing stories,
Sure.
so I find it very difficult. Um, but yeah, if there's someone who wants to join us to create something, that would be cool. Like we are doing it right now with Submarine.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we're like, if the opportunity happens, I mean, we're not gonna let it go. Uh, Maybe if our minds get connected correctly, maybe we can agree on something and create uh, something of our own.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're pretty comfortable working together as it is. I mean, we kind of enjoy what we're currently doing, and maybe it's better for us at the moment as like beginners in this world to just start with stories of other people rather than to jump in directly in our own story. Just to take our time to experience all this correctly. And
Show this.
oh my gosh.
That's a good attitude.
Oh, so this is a comic book we were working like a few weeks ago. I don't know.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
This one is for Ampeg.
Yeah, it's
It's like a group for those guys who
work in small grocery stores.
Yeah.
Like here in Mexico are called tienditas. They're very common. They say like potato chips, sodas,
Cookies.
like cookies, a lot of like junk food. Oh my god, that's so Mexican. And it's called Conoce tu tiendita. And look at that guy, like he's a panda. Like it's quite uncanny if I say so myself, but like here's some interiors. Like it's completely in Spanish. Okay, so
Yeah.
like look at that guy. Oh my gosh.
I wrote that story. So we are planning to finish it. So Natalie could color it.
Oh, that's
And they are trying to teach those guys how to make a better,
How to treat their clients better?
Oh,
Like
not only treat, but have a good
yes.
service. So this is the final result.
that's funny.
This is just the storyboard. We
okay.
are going to ink it and then color it.
Oh, cool.
So you have the word searches in the back and everything. That's pretty cool.
I can.
Yeah, they even requested some word searches and some labyrinth. And we even did a crossword. Like,
Mm-hmm.
quite curious to have that in a comic book, but go ahead, I guess.
I can relate to that because in my Race Christopher book, both the first and, even though I haven't really talked about it too much, the second issue. So I've got this maze that I did here. So looking back
like
at
in
a
this
lot
one.
of old kids cartoon books, Dennis the Menace and things like that, and seeing a lot of coloring pages, I'll show that too, coloring pages and mazes. And in the new comic, I have a word search as well and a crossword I want to do as well. So I got excited that, especially that Troy noticed that right away too. I didn't want to let that slide by without mentioning because that was cool. It's always
Really
fun.
cool.
Yeah, it's always fun to remind people that comic books can be fun and activities, and I think it deserves to have all that stuff.
Yeah,
Even
because that gets me really like angry when people try to diminish the power that comic books have to entertain people.
yeah,
Like they only associate it with childish things, but they have like true power in them, like to teach, to I don't know, entertain people and make others forget a little bit and just get immersed in the story. But yeah.
Yeah, if I had to make any editorial decisions on the original Watchmen graphic novel, I would say that it needs word searches and crosswords. We got that pirate comic in there, but I wanted more activities, and so
Who killed the comedian at the end of the book?
yeah, very
Love
cool.
Brad, are those squirt guns?
Yeah.
That that's
Nice.
something that Madman from Madman Comics he would definitely because he always had his little like disc gun and stuff like that and yo-yos. So I like that little that idea to do a toy there. Checking on some drawings. I see that Rodgers. How did we feel? Did you move on to some other behind the scenes stuff, or
I gave up. It wasn't my day.
sometimes that happens? But just I was watching that, and I can kind of tell when some of that just being like, "Yep, I think Rodgers has, you know, other things to do at the moment."
I gave it the old college try, and it didn't work out very well for me. That's
Now,
okay.
this is usually a future Anthony thing, but is there any chance that you save those for the credits, or is that stuff gone?
Oh, it's gone.
All right.
Nobody needs to see those.
Future Anthony will have some grainy screenshots in the credits.
I'm sorry, everybody. It's
That's
gonna
all
be
right.
bad.
No worries.
Troy, how did you feel about your work tonight?
I'm pleased. I got it all done.
I think it seems very fitting, kind of the stuff that you kind of draw and bringing in that kind of background and
You're very fast with inking.
yeah.
What's that?
You're very fast with the inking.
Oh, thank you. Only if it's big enough. Can't do anything small. I actually, Eric, I call these my sketch cards. This is the size sketch cards I do. I just call them jumbo sketch cards. So you and I have something in common that we both do a lot of sketch cards.
Yeah. Eric does these sketch cards, mini sketch cards, if you will, and Troy does jumbo sketch cards. That makes sense.
That's right.
And Nat does sketch cards, but you have to buy an iPad or a tablet with it too to own the art.
Yeah, because if it's not an iPad or a tablet, it doesn't work out.
I always thought about that if I wanted to sell the quote unquote original digital art, that it would cost, over $1,000 because someone would have to buy the tablet with it. So
Yeah, like if it's not like delivered with iPad with it, there's no deal.
like a physical NFT, if you will.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, that's so hilarious. Yeah.
I don't know, guys. There is an artist out there that we all are aware of that is selling original prints, calling it original artwork, even though it's a print.
Oh, is that right?
Oh.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Big bucks.
I won't talk
So
about.
I just made it weird. Sorry.
I was talking to Gavin Smith at a convention once, and he has like portfolios filled with his original artwork. And it's all priced like it's priced fairly because it's Gavin Smith and it's like original Ninja Turtles art and stuff. But he told me, he's like, I always price it really high because I don't want to sell it. Like I want to keep it. But then if somebody actually pays that much, then I'm gonna make that much money.
You price yourself out so far enough that being like, well, if somebody does want to buy it, then sure. Cool. All right, we're going to get to the point where we're going to get into plugs pretty soon. But before we do that, is there anything that anybody wants to say? If there's any extra questions, or if there's any other Phantom related stuff, anything anybody wants to say before I jump into it?
Is there any style of cartoon or comic that somebody would say, I would like to do a card of this, and you just are intimidated by it?
No,
Nice.
not at all.
Great answer.
Let me show you something.
Very confident.
He asked me to do the Bears outfit.
Okay. Cool.
I did a Dick Tracy one, Phantom, Dracula, Godzilla,
Fun.
Skeleton, and Popeye.
Those are fun. Yeah.
I try to be like what?
Versatile.
Yeah, versatile. I tried, but sometimes it's a little bit hard.
You're very adaptable,
Yeah.
like a
Thank you.
chameleon.
All right, I'm just adding some fuzziness to Grimace here because I don't know if like quote unquote a real life Grimace is supposed to be fuzzy because we know him as like a giant mascot, but I decided after making some solid lines, I'm like, nah, he should be fuzzy. We maybe talked about this before, but is Grimace supposed to be something? Do we know what he is?
He's the physical embodiment of a milkshake.
That's we have the Grimace anniversary birthday shake or something. Yeah.
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 He used to have 4 arms, or I think.
Yeah.
And he was a
And they're-
villain. He was a villain at first.
And they're bringing back Uncle O'Grimacy.
Yes.
Yay! Shamrock shakes are a beautiful green.
Oh, look at that.
You guys remember that commercial?
They actually have like a McDonald's has a web store, and they have a ton of Uncle O'Grimacy merchandise right now.
Oh wow! Yeah.
That's awesome.
Totally gonna buy all of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we've talked about that on a past episode, so I think it's great that Grimace has gotten this much airtime on Cartoonist by Night already.
Yeah.
We're practically a fan site.
Grimace by Night.
Whoa.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna.
Anywho.
Anybody else have any lingering questions or thoughts before I get into the final? As we bring this train into the station or whatever.
In other words, does anybody else have anything to say about Uncle O'Grimacy?
Yeah. This might be your only time.
I like the dog. Good dog, D. Brad.
I probably draw dogs more than anything else in my life.
Really? I can't draw a dog to save my life.
I've
Great.
drawn a couple dogs. I have my mother's dog Teddy makes a cameo in. Let me just gear it up here. Teddy makes a cameo in the first issue of Rice Christopher. So that was my attempt at a dog, but
Their anatomy is really weird.
Yeah.
They said the same thing about you.
That's what the dog said. Yeah, they do. They do kind of look,
that
kind of cock their head when they look at you, like, what is wrong with that dog?
if I'm not mistaken,
That dog barks really funny.
if I'm not mistaken, that famous painting of the dogs playing poker, that the original version was all of them talking about Troy's anatomy. So, and Troy's Anatomy, new season starts up on ABC this fall. So.
It is a popular topic at poker games.
You're in the 40th seasons. I forget what number, but like Troy's Anatomy season 40 something is coming this fall. So,
All right.
Future Anthony,
Nice.
step in there.
I'll keep eyes open.
All right.
Oof, you'd be wise not to, Brad.
So that is enough silliness for one evening, I think. Kind of do a little final show and tell. This is as far as I got with Reggie Mantle, who is either the Phantom or he's going swimming, and he's got his goggles on. He's ready to go for He's racing competitively, a swimmer, deep sea diver. And then we have Grimace as well, who's more looking like a tough security guard for Ronald McDonald, but it's working. This was my
Hey,
approach
yeah.
to the
Love it.
Phantom. But jump over to Nat if we want to get a good look at your progress on your Phantom Hello Kitty combo.
Yeah, so the guy's final, he's ready, like really ready.
Wow. Look at that.
I really like it.
I like
It's
the
very
heart.
cute.
The heart as the in the.
Yeah, he has a big
Yeah.
part of his gun. Like, it's a great detail, I guess. And yeah, so I really like pastel colors, so
Very
I
cute.
went with it. Yeah, totally.
Very cool. Eric, get a close look at where you're at here with the Phantom.
I hate the color. I think I chose the wrong purple in here.
Oh really? Oh.
Yeah.
I think it looks awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think
I
it
think
looks
it's a little
wonderful.
bit dark.
Just make everything else darker.
Yeah, I think the line art is cool, but the color is kind of weird.
Sure. It's all right. Jump over to D. Brad, looking at the final stages of the current production here. We'll see whatever final art in the credits, but let's take a look at this. That's awesome.
Very
Awesome.
cute.
Happy moment.
Cool. What I really appreciate about this topic. Oh, yep. Nice. Adorable.
Very cool, man.
I think, like, I don't know much about the Phantom, but based on D. Brad's work and Nat Suki's work here, we've created some really adorable versions of this character. And from what I understand, is probably not. Is the character very serious throughout all iterations? Can someone
Yeah.
talk about that?
I think so. Yes.
So there was no like throughout the years where they're like, all right, let's do a Batman
Except,
or something.
if it's a parody, I guess. Yeah. I bet you he influenced Batman.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Except, yeah.
cool. All right. Well, I think
Heck yeah,
that's gonna
man.
do it. Another thing I think I appreciate about the character, instead of having all my color sets, I was able just to pull out, a purple marker and then my skin tone for Reggie. So I did appreciate that for the character, that I didn't have to have my, 100 color set sitting here looking at me, wondering what to choose. So I'm very appreciative of that. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to close out the episode. We want to talk about where people can find our guest on the internet. So Erick Marshall, if you want to let people know what kind of social medias and where to find you, and when you talk about it, future Anthony will put all of the text at the bottoms. But where are you on social media?
I'm like Erick Marshall, and you find me with because of the Peanuts profile pic.
Yeah.
Or in Facebook, Erick Marsh Art in the same picture.
And we'll have all that on the bottom as well, and also links in the show notes for the YouTube video, so people can click on that and follow Erick. And do you have, now at the time of this recording, I always struggle with asking people if they're open for commissions, because somebody could be watching this 5 years in the future. But at the time of this recording, or how are you with commission work? Are you flexible, or do you where are you right now with commission work?
I try to be flexible. I'm taking sketch card commissions and portraits commissions. I will take just a bit because I'm working with Eric Esquivel on an upcoming book that it's called Officer O'Brien. But I try to take a break to make commissions and portraits or sketch cards.
Cool. So yeah, if anybody's listening to this, no matter what time in the future, always follow the social media, look at some of the statuses, and then also just reach out if you're interested. I know I will be, because I'm have interest in getting another sketch card from Erick Marshall. And jumping over to Nat, where can people find your work online?
Yeah, they can find me on Instagram mostly at Nat Suki, all together, no spaces, double N. And yeah, basically I post everything on Instagram, so they can find me there.
Excellent. And is there anything you want to promote? Obviously, we have Jungle Drama. We have Salty Beaches, the comic book that is currently the recent release from Keenspot Entertainment here. So we highly suggest to check in with your local comic book shops, or to go to keenspotshop.com to grab your copies, and possibly the availability of the first issue as well. But I think they're both very, while they continue on with the characters, very standalone kind of adventures to enjoy, but highly encourage that. Is there any work that is out there that you want to promote, Erick, with getting your other work and buying your comics and everything? Anything to promote?
I'm working on books. Can you see?
There we go.
This one is for the school. And it's called El Giro de Chilpancingo. I did just the cover and some interiors. But that's it. I mean, stay tuned for the next card projects and Officer O'Brien. It will be cool. It's like Dick Tracy Year One.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you will love it.
You have any drawing samples you can show of Officer O'Brien?
Do you have the? Wait a moment. I'll try to show you.
And for future Anthony, should we keep this in the episode if you're able to show it?
Yeah, I can show it.
Cool. Sometimes if we have sneak peeks, maybe if they aren't ready, but
I don't have my iPad here. But I will try to, if you want, I can send you the pages and you can put it there so people can see them.
Perfect. Ooh. So what we're going to do, future Anthony is doing this right now. We're all looking at these sketches. So let's all ooh and ah over this artwork that we are 100% seeing right now. Ooh.
Everyone act surprised.
Oh. Wow.
God.
Great.
It's fantastic.
Great. Wow. It's just wow.
Brian.
Excellent. And Nat, is there anything that you wanted to promote, or just coloring work with Erick? Anything?
Yeah, just
the spicy comics.
The spicy comics. Look forward to them. I'll be working with him as his colorist. Like, we're a duo, so yeah.
Don't forget Vamos a la Tiendita.
Yeah, that one.
With the panda.
With the panda, like, don't forget this guy, please.
Yeah, it looks like that's a fun one.
Blow him up, make him popular, okay? He deserves it, okay? He's pleading with his face.
If I were honest, I don't think I'm ever going to forget that guy, so.
Yes, it reminds me of like somebody... I don't know if you ever got the show. It was called Zoobly Zoo.
Oh yeah.
Never heard about it.
Yeah, look up Zoobly Zoo.
I watched that as a kid. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll look for it.
Beautiful. Well, that is going to be great. All of the links for their social media and their projects, all that stuff was displayed. Go to the show notes, and just a giant thank you to both Erick and Nat for joining us for this topic and hanging out and learning about you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. I had a blast.
You guys are very, very talented. Too much talent in one family.
Oh,
thank you. Really
appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
We really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was really fun. I was quite nervous, but it turned out great. Thank you so much. You all guys are so cool, for real. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. You'll receive that PayPal Venmo payment as well for saying thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
As we look, no matter what part of the country and what part of the world we're all in, we see that the sun is starting to come up. So it's time to get back to our day jobs. Good night, everybody.
Great.
Good night. Bye.
See you guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Can't even think of.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur. Okay.
Okay.
I was crossing my eyes.